Duelade.
Hello, hashtag Verse TV family, and welcome. It's week 218. I'm Aaron Mack, here with my good friend Kevin, aka CBC Basic Complexity. And today for the week 218, it's so funny. I'm looking down at the number 218 in my notes to remind me. So it's like I kind of know how artists feel when they go on tour a lot and they have to put down the name of the city on the floor of the stage so they can be like, so, hey, everybody, how are you doing in Toledo? It's kind of like that. Anyway, but 218. So I have the number 218 this week. So I will start off with the rolling thing, the random question generator. It's so cool. So I press it 2 times. So not the first one, not the second one. So here's the 2 and 218. The Rolling Stones or the Beatles? Well, I'll say I'm a pop guy, and I guess I'm more familiar with the catalog of the Beatles. So I guess I would say the Beatles, and before I go to one or the eight. So yes, the Beatles. Anyway, Kevin, aka Basic Complexity, CBC. Wait, I did that wrong. But anyway, what's your new song, my friend?
All right, with the new song, I was guess thrown off because it wasn't set in my notes, but I'm going off of memory. All right, so for the new song, actually, it the song is called "About Damn Time" by Lizzo, and yeah, I'm really a fan of hers, and I love the I don't give a F attitude about or thought about how people feel about how I look. She does her thing. She has no, no cares at all.
Hmm.
And yeah, I actually appreciate them. Like, do you? So yeah, overall, I really like the song. Um, yeah, and it's from her album called Special. Yeah, once again, I'm really going off of memory, but assuming I'm remembering correctly, the album was called Special. I believe, I believe it came out in 2019, I think.
I
But
thought it was a new song. And well, of course, it's new by our standards, but I'm saying I thought it was a part of her second album that like she just recently released. I don't
it,
know. I don't know. I mean, you're
it
the expert.
Special was her second album,
Way
and
back in 2019.
I
How
think
long has Lizzo been out? Forever? I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
I think she her first album was in 2017. I
Hmm.
think, like, to the audience, don't butcher me. I'm just going off
Stop.
of what I think is right. I could be dead wrong, but I don't know.
You know what? And I might be completely wrong because maybe I just didn't. I just didn't realize Lizzo's been out. And it's so crazy to say so long because 2017 is not that long ago. But I didn't realize because, long story short, yeah, I thought Special was, or I thought about It's About Damn Time was from her second album, which it was, but I thought it was like a new single. But I'm
Not
totally wrong. I'm mistaken. I apologize. But our hashtag Burst TV family is a loving collective of people who are forgiving and will accept when mistakes are made. So thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. And I do love that song About Damn Time by Lizzo. Anyway,
Yes.
all right. Are we ready for my old dish? Well, it's older than both of us. And I'm 40 years old. It's older than that, you know? The Spinners and Dionne Warwick's song Just as Long as We Have Love from their 1975 album entitled Pick Up the Litter. And I think that's a pretty cool title for an album. Pick Up the Litter, yes. You know, and I always talk about how SWV is my favorite female singing group. I have like two favorite male singing groups. The Spinners is one of them, and the Four Tops is the other. So like, or up there in my favorites catalog. Like I love Spinners music. I love Four Tops music. Now I in my notes I talk about how I think I'll skip that part. Like I don't need to mention it. The topics. I was just confused, y'all. Or did you have anything to say about Just as Long as We Have Love? I know when we talked about it before the show, you said you remember. You said you think you might remember.
Yeah, I I try, but really don't.
Just as long as we have. Anyway, but yeah, I love that song. It's beautiful and just we might not have a fancy clothes to wear or whatever, but just as long as we've got love, you know. And I connect that also with the Supreme song where they were like, we could live in a hut, it doesn't matter, you know. I forget, so I don't need to waste a whole lot of time talking about it, but whatever. Topics for the week are hashtag lip syncing escalated, hashtag Pride Months, hashtag the moral, hashtag pro, but hashtag thank you. Basic Complexity, are you ready to get the show on the road, my friend?
Yep.
Hashtag
Subscribe and share again. Yay, thank you, please.
hashtag lip syncing escalated at Gen Z exec at I love the 80s hashtag Verse TV 218A.
I've been wanting to show y'all something, and it's kind of trippy, but actually really cool. And I really believe this is going to change the entire music business model, industry. Like, we're really in a whole new age. This is TK. And y'all seen those SpongeBob covers, right? Where SpongeBob's voice is singing like Summer Walker or another artist. You can now do that with a human voice, aka vocal licensing. So this is a song before. Jolene, 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 Jolene. And this is the TK version. Jolene, Jolene, Jolene. I'm begging of you, please. You can literally drop your acapellas or record in real time. You can even adjust the pitch. Now, I may make a part 2 actually playing with the AI converter, but I want to show y'all this for 2 reasons. 1, because I feel like creators should just know about what's going on in the AI space. 2, because this is a glimpse of the future of entertainment, aka Entertech.
I didn't know anything about it at the time until I got a phone call asking me to make a video to try to help save their careers. They had a new manager, and he'd hired a couple of coaches to try to teach them to sing their own song. Because they not only couldn't sing it, with their thick German accents, they couldn't even say it.
Don't you understand, girl? This love is true.
This. Now watch. Remember when you were saying this? It's this. You gotta put your tongue out. Let me see.
This.
Good.
This.
So I went and shot all this footage of them working with the coaches, trying to learn to sing the song, which they had to spell out phonetically so they could remember how to pronounce the words.
Girl, this love is
That
true.
top line there says, "I'm in love with you, girl."
My love, right, is for you. Is for you. That's right. Girl, you know it's true.
It was a crazy project, and the whole world seemed to be watching, like a lot of the stuff I work on. They practiced and did the best they could, and the whole idea was they were going to hold a press conference, and during the press conference they'd give the Grammy back, and if somebody asked them to sing the song, they'd be prepared. They could just stand up right there and start singing it. But man, they really couldn't.
All right. So I know before the show we discussed the order and everything, and like sending me the orders, and I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I didn't. I just did it. But long story short, I'm going first for A and D. You're going first for B and C.
Got
So
it.
I'm up first with this one. So, one, shout out to Dolly. I love Dolly Parton, and that's who that song Jolene was. I didn't come across that song and understand it for myself until like my late 20s or whatever. But oh my gosh, I love that. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Oh my gosh, I love that. I am a Dolly Parton fan. Anyway, so yes, Gen Z exec is right. And through common lip syncing, we don't care about live sounding vocals at all. Through the fact that everybody lip syncs nowadays. People don't care about the fact that lip syncing is a thing. Like lip syncing has gotten to be such a science that it's done so well that like you question, like, are they singing? Possibly, I don't know. But it's such a thing. Like people don't care anymore. So that's gonna open the doors for us to go right on into AI artistry. And I don't know if it's a chicken or the egg came first as far as lip syncing. Was it the artist and the record companies were like, when you go out on stage, you need to lip sync, boy, girl, person, or was it things like American Bandstand and Soul Train, which would require artists to lip sync because those shows like that, it's all about the people who are dancing on the show. So they want to make sure the music is exactly like the record, even though the person is performing it. So it's like, I get that, and I don't know which one was first, but whatever it is, we're here where we are now. And people lip sync a lot, and I think that people won't care about AI lip syncing. And I'll bring up myself. My connection is I think about it like when I see an artist when I see a drag artist performing like at a drag brunch, performing like the best diva hits, I'm like, ooh, this is just like if it's new age diva who would just lip sync. You know, I'm actually seeing the real diva, which is exciting because basically, yeah, you can go ahead. I'll finish in my 1 minute. I'll go right back to the diva talk.
All right. After watching the video, was actually I was a little surprised. Like, really, when the whole Millie Vanilli situation went down, we were kids. So I did not fully even understand it at the time. Actually, and I didn't care. But when I later learned of it, I didn't know that they could pronounce the words in the song, let alone sing it. So, yeah, it was just a bit of a shock to me. And yeah, that's just what I've.
I will say Milli Vanilli, because I didn't mention this or I skipped it. But Milli Vanilli was truly ahead of their times in terms of lip syncing. Because as far as the record company choosing a group that they would like make up a sound for and stuff like that, that's where we are today. Like Milli Vanilli was ahead of their time because stuff like that, lip syncing and artists like totally not gonna be able to sing their stuff. Like we don't need that. You know, we can just put people on a hologram tour and stuff. You know, or see them perform, or see somebody else perform as them at a drag brunch. Because oh my god, like, and this is the thing, like drag performers perform their butts off. Oh my gosh. So it's like it's magical watching them. So it's like not only do we not care about the fact that they're not actually singing, they're lip syncing. It's like they're also performing their butts off. So it's super cool. And Milli Vanilli was the same way. And it's all about the looks. It's all about the looks. It seems like, yes, they were two handsome men. Okay.
Well,
So it's all about the looks. And oh, also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the previously attempted AI rapper who was eventually pulled from the shelves because he was too, people were saying, oh, he is just representing the worst. And of course, they'd experiment with an AI rapper, but he was just representing the worst of Black culture as an AI rapper. So eventually the record company is like, oh, we're not trying to offend people, obviously, you know. Anyway, but yeah, so that's that. My one sentence is greedy people tops have us barreling to an AI run society, all in the name of the game of more money. And AI artists can be less expensive than human artists. And I'm not throwing any shade to the tops out there. It's nothing but love for you all. I'm just saying those tops are the greedy ones who are having us barreling down to a society run by AI, which might not be a horrible thing because AI is really smart and maybe they would do things better, possibly. I don't know. Basic complexity or one square?
yes. And it's basically to always, always in life have a plan B just in case you need it, and you may not ever use it, but something, just a backup plan just to have there. So yeah, just learn what you want to be your plan B, have it figured out, and ready to go. You may never use it, but just have it.
All right. And our friend Quincy Keith. Hey, friend. I love when people wave like this. Hey, friend. But Quincy Keith is in the audience in the house, and he said they should had someone transcribe their song. Yeah, yeah, Milli Vanilli. Gotcha. Yeah. And the hashtag Verse TV family question for the family. I realized before, like the questions were a little too complex. So it's like nobody wants to write a dissertation in the comments. So it should be a little simpler. And it's simply a yes or no question. A world with only computer generated AI music artists. Is that cool with you? Think Sita's World going on tour. And that's for my fellow millennials. Y'all remember Sita's World? Oh my God. Like that's another example of a thing that AI had going on. Anyway, Basic Complexity, are you ready for our next topic?
Yes. Just
Okay.
trying to find where I'm at.
Oh, gotcha. All right, here we are.
Yeah.
Hashtag Pride Months at Lefty on Hard Mode. Hashtag VerseTV 218B.
Today's the day. Today's the day. Oh, can't wait. I wonder what all the major brands are saying. I wonder what the celebrities are tweeting. What? Nothing. What's that? Even though disabled people are 20% of the world's population, we're completely overlooked in pop culture and media. That can't be right.
All right, Basic Complexity, you're up first for this one and next one. Oh, and by the way, Quincy Keith's answer was yes to the hashtag Verse TV family question. Yes, I guess, actually. So, yeah. And then yeah, LOL. Cool. All right. So you're up first.
Okay.
Disability Pride Month.
Yeah. Well, just to me, when it comes to the whole disability pride thing, the fact that it's mainly or really forgotten and not spoken about is really no surprise to me at all. We are constantly, and I mean constantly, on the regular looked over or just dismissed. Apparently, people with disabilities don't count for anything, even though at 20%, that's every 1 out of 5. So, just something to think about. And that's just what I have for that.
Okay. Well, my initial reaction is, yeah, cool. Yeah, we absolutely should. And then I was like, but it's like everybody wants a holiday for something. And then I was like, no, but some people can be really saddened by a place, being in a place with disability. So having something like Disability Pride Month, I can see that helping people feel better about a situation. Now, I will say this: disability is not chronic for everyone. Not everybody is going to, like, there are people who are in that 20% who are disabled for a few months, but they are actually disabled. Like maybe they just gotten back from a medical procedure that makes them unable to do whatever. So they are disabled, but it's not like they are going to be disabled forever. So that plays a role. And also, I I I love the YouTube show podcast called I want to get that name right. From the Throne podcast. And it's a dope podcast. 3 people, 2 men, 1 woman, and they're all in wheelchairs. And they're speaking on the perspective of that. And one of the guys spoke to the fact that this is harsh to even talk about, but he was saying that when he first got into a wheelchair, wow, it's bringing tears to my eyes. But he's like, when he first got into a wheelchair, he was like, okay, give me a year and I'm gonna be out of it. And he's like, 5 years later or 8 years later or whatever, he's still in it. So it can be difficult. And I wonder, I think about myself and my currently having to use the walker, and I'm like, well, what if it's a situation like that? I don't know. But there are, well, I pray not, and I believe not, I speak not. And there are books that I've read and examples of people and even DoorDash people who delivered to me who had a walker and they were able to work their way out of it and now delivering up and downstairs for DoorDash. Anyway, but people don't need pride. I think a more important thing is awareness. Just like you mentioned, Kevin, Basic Complexity, in the beginning, people need to be more aware that there are those of us out there who have different and lesser abilities, disabilities. Disability is not a bad word. And we need to get that in people's heads as well and give us respect. Oh my gosh, I actually have a whole lot more to go into, but I'll try to fit in the 1 minute. Basic Complexity.
Well,
you're 1 squared.
Yes. Wow. Okay, I was so on the wrong part. Just that disability is nothing more than nothing more than different ability. Something to keep in mind, everyone. Alright. And your situation is special and makes you stand out. So just embrace it. That's it.
Yeah. And as we see in the message, our friend Quincy Keys explains how he uses, and this is good. This is good, and this is what it should be. Like he uses Disability Pride Month as an opportunity to get people aware of the disability situation. It's like that's dope. Yes, absolutely. And yeah, the more we can stop ableism, yes, also bring awareness to the mental disability as well. And that is the thing. So yes, ultimately we're saying awareness is important. And I'll say as well, yes, You know, awareness is important. Bring people to a point of being aware of our humanity as we journey through our situation. And it's a good thing. Okay. Now I'll say for my 1 minute, I will say like homelessness, it awareness is important. So awareness about um, disability, disabled people, not looking down on disabled people. The same kind of goes for homeless people. Not kind of, it does. And I saw this one thing of this one dude who explained that he volunteered at a particular homeless shelter, and he was told that 85% of the people in that homeless shelter had bachelor's degrees. Bachelor's degrees had bachelor's degrees. And it was explained to him that most people, most of us humans, are just 3 simultaneous disasters, tragedies away from being homeless. 3 simultaneous tragedies, things that we can't help. It's just 3, and that connects us to understanding that we could all be in that homeless position. Just like anybody, we can all be in that disabled position. Oh my gosh. Please let me take a little extra time to rant, Kevin, if it's okay.
Go for it.
It's like I try getting around, try getting out. And as I'm out going around, and there are people who will sometimes be like, stop me in my tracks. Like this past winter, I was going to a restaurant and I couldn't quite find how to get there. And I was out and it was freezing cold. I live in Cleveland. It was freezing cold. And I saw these people in my peripheral, like sort of running up to me. And I was like, just trying to push my walker because I knew what it was. I knew what it was. They came up to me and they pulled right in front of me. They're like, hey, can we pray for you? And my pastor, former pastor, she's now moved on to a different church. But what she explained is when people do that, can we pray for you thing? It's because they feel that what prevented them from having to be in your situation is because they have a stronger connection to God. So they're like, well, he must be in that situation because his connection to God isn't as strong as me. Maybe I need to pray for him. Please. And I'll go all the way back to Chris Francois from back in the day on #VerseTV when she was like, I don't know if you're praying for me or you're praying on me. Don't pray for me. I don't know if you're praying for me or you're praying on me. And it's so unfortunate. But people don't acknowledge that it's like, you could be in the situation too, But I'm not wishing that on anybody, but just acknowledge our humanity. As I always say, and Kevin, you and I both agree on this, we wouldn't wish MS on our worst enemy.
No.
Worst enemy. Just, okay. I've gone way over. And yeah, my one sentence is homelessness and or disability. Compassion is key. Homelessness or disability. Compassion is key. Lead with love. Understand that most people want neither one of those things. Most people want neither one of those things. Absolutely don't want it. And they are trying the best way they know how to get out of that situation. Love is paramount. Love is paramount. Okay, people? Yes. And the hashtag Verse TV family yes or no question is Disability Pride Month needs more exposure. Yes or no? All right. Are you ready for the next one that you're going to be first for as well?
Yeah.
Or did you have anything else to say? I took all that extra time. Did you have something else?
You're completely fine.
All right. Letter C.
Hashtag the moral at Christians who curse sometimes at Suzette _ Fettelvero. Hashtag Verse TV 218C.
If Jesus had a gun, he'd be alive today. No, he wouldn't, because he wouldn't use... Did you read the book? If Jesus had a gun, he'd be alive today. No, he wouldn't, because he wouldn't use... Did you read the book?
Donkey said to the tiger, "The grass is blue." The tiger replied, "No, the grass is green." The discussion heated up, and the two decided to went before the lion, the king of the jungle. The donkey began to shout, "Your Highness, is it true that the grass is blue?" The lion replied, "True, the grass is blue." The donkey continued, "The tiger disagrees with me and contradicts and annoys me. Please punish him." The king then declared, "The tiger will be punished with 5 years of silence." The donkey jumped cheerfully and went on his way. The tiger accepted his punishment, but before he asked the lion, "Your Majesty, why have you punished me? After all, the grass is green." The lion replied, "In fact, the grass is green." The tiger asked, "So why are you punishing me?" The lion replied, "That has nothing to do with the question of whether the grass is blue or green. The punishment is because it is not possible for a brave and intelligent creature like you to waste time arguing with a donkey, and on top of that come and bother me with that question. The worst waste of time is arguing with the fool and fanatic who does not care about truth or reality, but only the victory of his beliefs and illusions. There are people who, no matter how much evidence we present to them, are not in the capacity to understand, and others are blinded by ego, hatred, and resentment, and all they want is to be right even if they are not."
All right. Now, Quincy did respond to the previous hashtag Verse TV family question, and I did want to get that on the screen. He said yes. His answer was yes. So thank you for participating, friend. All right. Now, Kevin, you are up first, and take it away.
All right. First part. When the comment was made about if Jesus had a gun, like that whole thing to me makes no sense, because really what it comes down to, I really advise people to read or at least browse by the Bible. You have to remember, Jesus would not have even used a gun. That just wasn't the way he was. Like, a gun meant nothing to Jesus. Like, he was not tripping off of that. Then secondly, about the whole thing with the lion and
the lion was the king, the donkey versus the tiger.
All right, tiger and donkey. All right. The one thing I could think of that really seems close to that, and it's something that I will not argue anyone about. And I've definitely, I definitely was approached with this a few years ago. Um, there were some people, some that believe that the Earth is flat and not round. I have all kinds of there's all kinds of evidence to prove that wrong, but it's whatever. If that's what they believe, that's what they believe. Like, do you? And that's what I have on that.
Okay. So, my initial reaction is people love to rationalize their guns and even need to misrepresent the Bible. And I thought it was so cool how he was like, "Did you even read the book? Did you even read the book?" Because a lot of people will just uh, take little bits of what they think they know and use it as long as it advances their agenda. Anyway, people talk about the gay agenda. But like the donkey and the tiger, people can hold very strong convictions, very strong points of view. And the lion was absolutely correct. Now, I will say the little bit of libertarian in me does say that people should be able to believe whatever they believe. As long as you're not hurting or harming someone else, and a lot of y'all still are, truth be told. But, it is what it is. But as long as you're not knowingly, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to word it that way. I'll just word it. As long as you're not hurting or harming someone else, period. Believe what you want to believe. But just like the Karen White song, "Do Unto Me," "Do Unto Me." Anyway, yes. And as far the donkey lion example for the donkey, I'm like, that is exactly what I told the woman who, when I came back from I always forget what kind of lake it is, but it's called Lakeside or Lake something, some city here in Cleveland, Lakewood. And coming back from the gay bar with a friend of mine. And when we went to Jerry from Everything and Then Some podcast event, the Uber driver that I had was like, "Oh, so that was a gay bar?" And I was like, "Yeah, I went to that gay establishment with my friend." And she was like, "Oh, are you gay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And her response was, "But what about your soul?" And I told her, I was like, "You know what? Just like the tiger for the donkey, I will not," and I didn't tell her, I didn't call her the donkey. I'm going to just save that as a dog ear and come back in my 1 minute. Creates a complexity. What's your one square?
And sorry, give me just a moment. Oh, in general, it's just something I think is extremely simple. Some people don't, for some unknown reason, don't seem to get it. I would simply say, just freedom is fundamental. Um, some people need to read for running their mouth. And yeah, that's what I have.
So as far as the woman who asked, "What about my soul?" It's like the donkey and the tiger. And I did say to her that I don't like to engage people in such discussions because I've studied the Bible a lot. I am a Christian. I've read the Bible cover to cover, proverbial cover to cover, but cover to cover multiple times. And I've read a lot of the Bible in addition to that, just individual anyway. But yeah, so I I don't find I don't take issue with my sexuality, even after reading all of that in the Bible. And I learned, I guess, the hard way that when people have really strong convictions and really believe something that they want to believe, it doesn't matter what kind of proof you present them with. It doesn't matter how much you say, "Hey, donkey, the grass is green. The grass is blue to that donkey, period." And the donkey will prove it, and the lion will punish you because you're arguing with a donkey. So that's why I told her, I was like, I don't engage in such debates. We actually had a really cool ride, though. Like, she was really cool. We got along well. But anyway, the one sentence is, your grass can be as blue as you want. Just don't hurt or harm anyone. All right. And the hashtag VersTV family question. Have you ever debated a donkey? Yes or no? All right. Are you ready for wait a minute. This is D. This, I said this. This is D. So I'm up first for this one. But are you ready?
Yeah.
Hashtag pro but at Now We Know News. Hashtag VersTV218D.
You're confused because you think I'm saying something that I'm not.
Well, tell me what you're saying.
What I'm telling you, I'm being very clear. You cannot say you are pro-life when you vote against prenatal care for the mother. You cannot say you are pro-life when you vote against Head Start. You cannot say you are pro-life when you do not want to expand Medicaid to keep hospitals open. You cannot say you are pro-life when you have OBGYNs who are not available in your state. You cannot say you are pro-life when you have black women who are dying at a higher rate during childbirth and you do nothing public policy-wise to fix it. You cannot say you are pro-life if you allow infant mortality rates to be sky high in areas where there are black and brown people. What that tells me is you are anti-abortion. You are not pro-life. Because if you are pro-life, you care about the child in the womb and when the child is out. And if you are pro-life, you are standing there with black folks when their kids are killed by cops. You are not silent. So if you're pro-life, be pro-life from the womb to the tomb, but not just in the womb.
All right. So my connection to this is I actually had a conversation with a family member of mine about the whole pro-life, pro-choice, as it's called. And I told him exactly what Roland Martin, and we love some Roland Martin, exactly what Roland Martin said to her, and that it's like, you can't call yourself pro-life if you're anti all these other things. And my family member was like, yeah, not everybody who is pro-life is anti those other things. So it's like that's an unfair. It's unfair to conflate them. You can be pro-life and pro things that support life. And as when they bring up the Black Lives Matter thing, it reminded me of a discussion disagreement that I got into with a good friend of mine a few years ago about Black Lives Matter, and he was like, "Well, Black people kill each other, so why Black lives obviously don't matter. If Black people are in the streets killing each other, why should anybody else care about Black lives? Black lives don't matter." And my response to him was, "No, just because some Black people are in the streets killing other Black people doesn't mean that all Black people are in the streets killing other Black people." And honestly, when it comes to crime in general, it's mostly going to be done by people who have a close proximity to you. I don't even put that in quotes, but who are in close proximity to you. And if your neighborhood is Black people, chances are you're going to commit crimes against Black people. But the same thing is true for people of other races. It's all about proximity. Who's in your area? That's who's going to get the brunt of your crime. Interestingly enough, people generally don't venture far outside of their neighborhoods to commit crimes. Just like you're more likely to get raped by somebody you already know, because people don't venture outside. Anyway, oh my gosh, please. But yeah, Trevor Noah spoke to that as well wisely. Like he's like, if you go to any hood in America, you'll see obviously there are Black people who care. Like that's ridiculous. Even Black people in the hoods that actually care about such things. And I love Roland Martin. He's smart, and I respect his serious and the fact that he's seriously building his social media presence and doing a great job. Cool. Basic Complexity, you're up.
Yes. Well, all right. First off, I would say that I found this hilarious because Mr. Roland Martin, he came with facts, period. Just facts, flat out. He made a very good point about fully sticking with your alleged message. There we go. And yeah, that's what I have.
Okay. So my one sentence. I'll take the 1 minute and say, you see, Quincy Keith agrees with Roland Martin, just like you were saying. Roland Martin is freezing fast. Quincy Keith actually wrote the same thing, and yeah, it's true. I agree. Not. I agree. Period. I agree with you too. Okay, Kevin, Quincy Keith. I agree. Yes, and I'll say I love the fact that I love how Roland Martin is building his social media presence like so professionally, because he was on TV and now he's like, I'm venturing out doing my own thing. And I feel like it inspires me. I'm not going to lie. So I think that's really cool. He has his Roland Martin Unfiltered. I've sent some money to it. I have, yes. And I ain't rich. I sent a couple of bucks, just a couple. But anyway, but my one sentence is, if we all truly lived love, all contradictions in this debate would be resolved. Let's do our part and try to just live love. That would resolve all of those contradictions. We'd be done with them, y'all. Basic Complexity, you're one square.
Yes. Pretty much if you or say person, whoever, makes a claim about whatever, then follow it completely through with receipts.
All right. Now the hashtag VerseTV family question. The hashtag VerseTV family yes or no question is, humans all living through love would probably resolve most of our problems. Not through, but true. Humans all living true love would probably resolve most of our problems. Yes or no? And, oh yeah. Now for our fun little, like we're doing this like little fun video for E. And here comes E. Before we get into the music, E is
hashtag thank you at Simple Dedication, hashtag VerseTV218E.
Hello, for Jackie, right?
Yeah.
How are you?
You're like a white guy.
What's that?
Are you like a white guy?
Excuse me?
Are you like a normal guy? Like you speak English? Sorry.
No, you can get out of the car. I'm gonna cancel a ride. That's inappropriate.
What?
It's completely inappropriate. If somebody was not white sitting in the seat, what would be the difference?
Are you serious?
She said, wow, you're a white guy.
Oh,
That's okay. I'm not gonna take the ride. You guys can get out.
really?
Yeah, completely inappropriate.
Oh, you're a fucking asshole.
It's all on
You're a
camera,
piece
man.
of
It's all on
I
camera.
should punch you in the fucking face.
You're gonna threaten me.
Yeah,
Assault.
Sorry, yeah.
Wow.
Because you guys are racist.
You're
Yeah. No, I'm calling the cops on you, man.
Go ahead.
It's all on camera. It's all on camera. Hello, for Jackie, right? How are
I entitled that video "Thank You" because thank you. Thank you for being that real, for standing up for right. Now, again, topic E, it's not like it's a topic that we actually talk about. Anyway, Quincy Keith's answer to the hashtag VerseTV family question was simply no. Okay, Quincy. Well, unfortunately, we're gonna do the closing, but we will have to bid you adieu because I see you're here on YouTube and we can't play our music on YouTube. But we'd love for you to join us on Twitter or something so you can keep going with us. But we do have to turn off YouTube after we close. So, hi, I'm Aaron Mack. You can find me, Aaron Mack. You can email me, Aaron Mack, AARONMCK, at BerseTV.com. That's BerseTeab.com. You know, I'm chuckling because I'm like, what about Aaron? Shut up. Hashtag VerseTV is all over social media. Hashtag BerseTeab to find us all over social media. Now, basic complexity, did you want me to do yours or do you have
I have it.
Cool.
All right. So, well, first off, hey, everybody. I am Kevin, aka Basic Complexity. Now, I could be found on TikTok, and this one will be a little different, but it's my Basic Complexity, and that's on TikTok. Just because, for some unknown reason, Basic Complexity was already taken. So I had to go with my Basic Complexity. Um, yeah. And as I say very often, well, all right, it's all put together. So it's my, then take the word basic, BASIC, and then the word complexity, COMPLEXITY. Put it all together. That's what is my basic complexity on TikTok. Now on Instagram, it is just simply basic complexity. And I can also be found, sorry, email is basic complexity at versetv.com. And that's what I've.
All right. And now, YouTube, we will see you later. We have to turn you off. Sorry, it's nothing but love. But